subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
On Saturday, April 5th, 2025, millions of us across America are going to march in protest of the Trump administration. Please, please, please join us. Please share this video with as many people in America as you possibly can. You guys, we're running out of time. Trump is moving so fast and he's winning. We have to fight back. It's our last chance to ensure our democracy. Go to www.handsoff2025.com. www.handsoff2025.com. Please share this video with as many people as possible. We have to show up on Saturday, April 5th. Thank you.
All right. It is us. We're here. We're here. Let me give you guys a round of applause. What is going on with you guys? It is that tap in time. Glad to have everybody in here. I am Tariq, and you are you, and we are tapping in with the late night tap in, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to have all of you here. We got a lot to talk about on this broadcast that's live and direct. Before we get started, y'all know how we got to do it. I got to give a shout out to many of the regulars. Well, there's two things we got to do. Number one, I need all of you guys to give me a retweet. All right? If you can give a retweet, that would be phenomenal. And while you're retweeting, let me do some shout outs to some of the regulars in here. Let me see who I see. We do have a lot of people in here already. We have Zuri, Ivy, Kurt, Mr. Petty. We have FBA Trey Day, Jess. We have Stones. We have No Cap. We have Corey, Soul, Hollywood, Latita, Black Republican, Damon, Meet You God, Tyrone. We have Remy, Swag. We have Harriet Tubman's Gun. We have Different and the Tethernator, Lufax, Hoodoo in the building, Soul Food in the building. Shout out to all the regulars. A lot of stuff. Trinity, I didn't forget you, beloved. I see you, Trinity. Brother Highland, I see you. Highland Holmes, I see y'all in the building. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Did y'all see? I put up a tweet. Family, the Twitter spaces here that we do every day, do y'all know, according to Grok, that's the AI form here on X, Twitter, and Grok is pretty thorough to a certain degree. Grok is pretty thorough. But according to Grok, my Twitter spaces here are basically the most consistently popular spaces. These spaces here, according to Grok, is the most consistently popular. Grok had to admit that. Somebody brought that up to me the other day. I never really thought about it because I don't really go into too many spaces, but these spaces here, we consistently get large numbers. As you know, we average between 1,500, 2,000 people every single day. We're the only ones who do that on here, ladies and gentlemen. So let me give you guys a round of applause for that. That's a beautiful thing. That's why so many tethers be upset and so many people from the establishment are so upset because we got this thing cracking and we have it consistently cracking. That's a beautiful thing. And Grok had to admit it. And they had to mention some other people. Like, there's some people who might get a one-off space that has a lot of people, but that's not consistent. They mentioned some other dude talking about he interviewed Elon or Trump, somebody. He interviewed somebody, and he had, I want to say 100,000 views or whatever, but we're not talking about one-offs. We're not talking about one-offs as far as consistency, who got decent, consistent numbers every single day. We're the only ones doing those kind of numbers every single day into the thousands. Nobody's doing that. That's a great thing. That shows how powerful real grassroots movements are, you see. And Grok gave some real good analysis on why the MySpaces over here are popping off the way they pop off. Just what they said was, hold on, let me look it up because they're pretty accurate. Hold on one second. Hold on. Hold on. I'm looking. Hold on. Hold on one second. Y'all bear with me. I don't like to have dead air. All right, let me see what they say. Excuse me, because I read earlier. So what they said, the reason why MySpaces are so popular and we get so many views that other groups or other people do not get. Number one, they said, well, controversial topics. Nasheed frequently discusses provocative subjects like race, systematic racism, reparations, um, tensions within the diaspora, which sparks strong reactions and draws in listeners, either to hear takes or debate them. A consistent schedule. His nightly X spaces create a reliable routine for followers, building a loyal audience, which is true. I go on around this time every night, and then people get to hear the playback the next day. Engaging personality, Nasheed's bold, unapologetic, and sometimes polarizing delivery keeps listeners hooked. And yeah, yes, y'all asses are hooked because y'all be up in here heavy in the middle of the damn night. I got to force myself off here. The numbers never dwindle, the numbers just keep going up. Um, His charisma and confidence makes the sessions entertaining, even for those who disagree. That's true. He champions foundational Black American narrative, which resonates deeply within Black American society, which is true. An interactive format. It allows real-time participation where listeners can join the discussion, ask questions, or challenge him directly. And that interactivity boosts engagements, which makes the sessions feel dynamic. Cultural relevance. His content ties into cultural events and current events and social media trends and ongoing cultural debates, which is true. An established following as a filmmaker, Nasheed, and a media personality. He brings an existing fan base from his decades-long career, amplifying his reach on X, which is true. So, community building. He fosters a sense of belonging among his listeners. Um, Lack of a mainstream filter. Unlike traditional media, X Spaces let Nasheed speak freely without censorship, appealing to audiences who value raw, unfiltered perspectives over polished broadcast. Charisma and wit. Okay, yeah, that's pretty accurate, right? I agree. Grok gets it right. Grok gets it right. So yeah, we doing great things over here, man. And that's a gift and a curse because some people look at that as a threat because that's real grassroots support. It's a real grassroots thing. And we keep it 100 over here, man. And people can respect whether you disagree or agree. People can only on a subconscious level, you can respect when somebody keeps it 100. I'm gonna keep that thing 110. And speaking of fake grassroots, what's up, Sister Brooke? I see you, beloved Great Black Shark. I see you. Speaking of fake grassroots, there there's a so-called grassroots march that's going to happen Saturday, April 5th. There's supposed to be this nationwide grassroots march all around the country called Hands Off. All right? The Hands Off is a national day of action. So these are coordinated nationwide protests um, that's being promoted as a response to what the organizers call the MAGA assault on democracy. MAGA assault on civil rights and institutions. So this event, it's framed to be a public rejection of the policies linked to Trump and Elon Musk. And they're trying to pretend this is grassroots. Family, this is the furthest thing from grassroots. The organizers behind this march is the Women's March. That's a white feminist organization. That's Tarana Burke's them folks, by the way. They're clicked in with Tarana Burke. Another so-called grassroots movement, Indivisible. Another one called the 50501 movement. Yeah, that's a newer coalition that's focused on democratic reforms and so-called opposition to authoritarianism. MoveOn.org, that's a well-funded digital progressive organizing group, and other liberal PACs. This is like a Democrat thing, family. This ain't no grassroots. This is organized by the damn DNC. This is heavily funded by the DNC and Democratic funding and organizers and PACs. So they're talking about their claim is that they want to defend democracy and voting rights. That means for immigrants, oppose Trump's return to political power. They want to protest the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, because Doge is putting all of their damn financial business on Front Street. That's what they're really mad at. Doge is showing where all of this damn money is being squandered. I ain't got no problem with Doge at all. They want to stand up for reproductive rights. That means they want us to get abortions. That's what that means. They want to push abortions. Education. That means LGBT stuff in the schools. They want to stand up for healthcare. That means gender medicines and gender reassignments. All right. And civil liberties. That means civil liberties for white LGBT and immigrants. And they want to rally voter enthusiasm leading into the new election cycle. All right. Family, like I said, this ain't grassroots. Do we have any DNC Democrat shills in here? Where's RJ? Where's Gabriel? I ain't seen Gabriel in a minute. I've been wanting Gabriel to get up in here. Gabriel, the Democratic shill. Where y'all at? Now, anybody in here plan on going or participating? If you plan on going, give me a thumbs up. If you plan on not going, give me a thumbs down. Let's see who we got in here. I would love to see somebody who's talking about going to this bullshit. If you plan on going, give me a thumbs up. If you plan on sitting your ass down at the crib, let me see who we got in here. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of thumbs downs. I'm seeing a lot of thumbs down, black folks. Stay your ass at home. Hands off this march, quote unquote. Black folks, y'all better not be y'all asses out there. This is the Million Mayo March. This is for the dominant white society. This is why they ain't gonna get no real traction. They gotta have us a part of it. The only way this march is going to work is if you have a significant number of us there. That's why sit your asses down. This ain't got nothing to do with you, ladies and gentlemen. Foundational Black American family, especially, this ain't got nothing to do with you. This ain't grassroots. This is like George Soros stuff. There's the Open Society Foundations, the Tide Foundations, Democrat with Democracy Alliance. These are all these secret little billionaires funding this stuff. There's a lot of involvement from some of these big political PACs with dark money networks, groups like Act Blue. They're connected with some of these websites connected to this HandsOff. Whenever you see when you see Act Blue, that's the DNC. You're dealing with the DNC family. This is so non-grassroots. You can tell by the synchronized branding and the messaging across the states. See, real grassroots movements, they don't typically have identical logos and hashtags and press kits and websites across dozens of cities. You see, the coordination and the visual branding. This is centralized planning. This is like from PR firms. This ain't like volunteers, barbershop, organizing in basements and barbershops. This ain't, no, 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 no. It's way too polished. And also, they're getting a media rollout. You see, when some shit pop off, it just pops off. You know what I'm saying? When there's a real genuine grassroots march, it pops off. It you hear about it through word of mouth, maybe some social media things, but damn, it just kind of pops off. You don't get no big media rollout. This shit is, you got CNN promoting it, MSNBC promoting it, the New York Times promoting it. Get the hell out of here. Right there is the red flag right there. Stay y'all asses away from this nonsense. Stay the hell away from this. Too many corporate entities are rolling it out already. Yeah. So yeah, this is astroturf. This is not grassroots. It's astroturf. And you got tech platforms participating with the rollout. Social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok, they're amplifying and they're promoting the hashtag already. That's tied to the march. You see, and some of these are tied to verified accounts sponsored by political nonprofits. So they already know these platforms, they have a history of making the algorithms favor corporate backed political causes. They know how to click the algorithm rhythm button and just kind of signal boost these messages. You see? And the opposition is all framed in electoral terms, not systematic terms. It's nothing about changing the system as a whole. It's all about, okay, the Republicans are bad, the Republicans are bad. That's not a real grassroots movement. That's not a real grassroots movement. You see? See the framing, they leave out conveniently the Democrats' complicity in a lot of police militarization, tech overreach, economic equality. They're not saying anything about the janky shit the Democrats are doing. This is a big old let's get together and hate Trump rally that's orchestrated by big money and the Democrats. We're not going to be used as pawns out here for this. We're not going to be used as pawns. And you got the women's march associated with this, these white feminists. You damn sure don't need to be out there for that, because these white feminist groups, like the women's group, the women's march, they don't be out here stomping for black women. You feel me? We're going to give them the same energy they give black women. None. When black women are harmed out here, these white feminist groups are quiet as church mice. When our sister Sonia Massey, remember a few months ago, had her head blown off by that race soldier up in her house, where were these white women's groups? Huh? Where was the march for that, white women's groups? Breonna Taylor, we had to hit the streets. That was a real grassroots movement. The white feminist groups wasn't really stomping for that. That was us on the grassroots stomping for Breonna Taylor. That was us stomping for Sandra Bland. That was us stomping for Corinne Gaines out there in Maryland. That was us stomping for Rakia Boyd. That was the grassroots stomping for Atiana Jefferson. Come on now. These white feminist groups weren't doing a goddamn thing when black women are harmed by race soldiers. So we're going to give them the same damn energy. We're not running out there with the cape. That's what they need. They need us out there, family. That's why y'all sit y'all asses down, because it's hard for the people in the dominant white society to be out here marching for something. You're not aggrieved. What are you marching for? You got every privilege in the world. What are you marching for? That's why their marches don't have no legs unless we're part of it. Their marches don't have no steam unless we are a part of it. So we got to watch it. We got to be very careful not to participate in this nonsense. Black folks, stay your ass home. Hands off that march and lips on my black ass, because that's what you can kiss if you think I'm going to be out there with y'all. You see? Because they want us to get out there so we can tackle on our agenda, and then they can hijack that for theirs. Like, look at this black person, how he's been treated. And we all been treated bad. So let's get some justice for us too. Yeah, they got this selective outrage towards Trump, but there's silence under the damn Democrats. You see? They're very silent. We ain't playing that game. We ain't doing the false allyship. None of that stuff. They ain't got no tangible gains for us whatsoever. You see, they ain't got nothing for us out there. When we're talking about we need reparations, they were silent. And they're still trying to crash out our reparations. So we ain't going nowhere. No, we didn't forget what y'all did with the reparations and y'all tried to crash it out. And we're still stomping for reparations. We're not playing that game. So you know what we're going to see? We're going to see they're going to probably find some tethers. What they're going to do, I'm already seeing it. They're trying to elevate tethers who don't nobody know. They're going to find some Sambos who are non-FBA and then prop them up, and they're going to do a lot of yelling and screaming. And these people are not our representatives. We're not going to allow them to misrepresent us whatsoever. We're not playing that game. Hands off that damn march. Let's get some people in here. Freedom. Let's get Freedom in here. Mr. Freedom, hop on, sir. Nope.
Thank you for bringing me up really quick. I hope everyone's doing well in the group.
Yes, we are.
I just have two questions for you. May I ask you two questions?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Tariq. My first question is, which has nothing to do with what you were just talking about, but I agree with everything you were saying. I was putting my little emojis up. I hope you saw them.
Okay.
Anyway, two questions which have nothing to do with your topic. My first question is, what are your thoughts on Representative Jasmine Crockett?
Okay. And I talked about
Right.
her yesterday.
Respectfully.
Yeah, with Jasmine Crockett. I think the Democrats, and I did a long broadcast about her the other day. I think they deliberately put her up there and have her getting into performative ratchetness, performative hood radishness in order to minimize the seriousness of a black agenda. I think they have her engaging in minstrelly. It's very performative. And I think her antics, they put her out there to be the crash dummy to deflect from the fact that they really don't have an agenda. The Democrats don't have a real agenda that the general public is really rocking with. So they'll throw her out here and to have her engage in all of these weird antics. She's not, I have to say, she doesn't represent Black society at all.
I know that.
Okay,
I know that.
okay,
And
yeah.
when I saw her, Tariq, I'm like, wow, is she misrepresenting? Anyway, so I'm glad that you feel the same way. My second question, I'll make it real quick and I'll back down.
Yeah.
I haven't been on your show in a while, so I'm sorry if you already talked about her. My second question is, and I really don't know this answer because I've seen so many different things. So I thought I would ask what your opinion was with regards to all the millions and millions of dollars that went, how do I say this? Did all that money go to the Black Lives Matter leaders? And if so, how come they didn't help foundational Black American people?
Right. Most of that money.
Or if I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Okay. A lot of that money actually went to white liberal groups.
Oh,
It went to
geez.
white liberal groups. It really didn't go. A few dollars went to some of those Black Lives Matter leaders, quote unquote, and the white liberal media. They they threw them under the bus. They were the sacrificial lambs. The white
Uh,
liberal media, remember, it was the liberal media saying that, oh, look at the leaders of Black Lives Matter, they got all of these houses and all that. They got a couple
yeah,
of they got a couple of $1 million, but there was like 90 million raised here, 90 million raised. There was a lot of money raised.
right.
That money went to like Act Blue. That money went to white liberal
Oh,
organizations. It went to white
God.
LGBT organizations. Let's be very clear. It was white liberals who were getting that money. And they just kind of threw the black activists, quote unquote, under the damn bus so that they
Unbelievable.
could deflect away from the fact that they were pocketing most of that money. That's why nothing went to foundational Black Americans at all. Nothing went to the Black community. So it was a finesse, and that was the whole purpose
Uh,
of it. So yeah.
I'm so sorry. See, because I didn't know. You read and you read, but you get stories here and there. And I wanted to ask you because I know you know a lot about what's going on with so much. And I'm like, I still didn't know. So, and then I guess my very last question is, so that would be my third. Do you still support the BLM
Well,
after
BLM is
everything?
BLM is a non-factor. BLM,
Yeah,
that's basically it's simply a catchphrase. The
yeah,
BLM actually it just means nothing. It doesn't
yeah.
mean anything. The organization, I think it's dissolved. It doesn't even exist anymore.
Oh,
The organization. And the movement was basically a co-op from the Black grassroots movement. The corporate liberal structure just branded it and then profited off of the brand and co-opted the brand by saying, okay, Black Lives Matter, and then Black trans lives matter too. What about these people over here selling bussy? They matter. So it just got into a whole bunch of nonsense. All right, let's get Mr. Verma. Okay, I hope you're not one of those East Indian dudes who call up on that goofy shit every night. Okay, yeah, he must have. Yeah, I called him out. He dipped. All right, let's get Miss Stacy. Miss
Hey,
Stacy.
Tariq.
Hey, Miss Stacy, how are you?
I'm doing good. So I have to say, I'm sorry. I can't stay home on April 5th.
Uh-oh.
That's my birthday. I'm
Oh,
going to be on vacation.
oh, okay, okay. I'm about to say, I'm like, Lord.
Uh, I had to get you on that one. But
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
I'm
like, oh
going to be,
Lord. I know. I said, oh, I hope Stacy didn't turn into a plantation mammy.
hell
We're
no.
about to go get a drop squad to go get you, sis. We couldn't let you go out like that.
I'm about to go party. If y'all want to party with me, you
Yes,
can. But yeah, I'm not going out to them fools. Heck no.
exactly.
Hey, you know what I was going to say? What I thought was funny? That'd be a good time for ICE to be sitting and waiting.
Ah, they start
And
right.
I'm gonna land my
There
plane
you
right
go.
there for
There
you.
you go. All right. All right. We in here heavy as we always are. Y'all raise your hand and let me get some of you guys up here. I see brother Xavier down there. I see brother McCall down there. See a lot of good folks in the building. Y'all raise your hands if you are ready to chop it up with me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna reset this room in a second because we're gonna talk about some other stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we gotta touch on, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, we staying away from that Million Mayo March. We're staying away. Let's get DJ Genesis in the building. Miss Genesis, hop on in, dear.
On the 5th.
No. Because what happens is they'll think we're supporting them. You understand? They'll think if we got out there on our own and tried to have our own protests, they will try to blend it in and act like we're giving them support. No, that's exactly what they would want. No. Stay your ass at home. Go to Red Lobster or something, but don't be out there. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because that's exactly what they try to do. They'll try to blend marches. Like when we had the reparations rally in DC, we brought thousands of people out. The DNC had a rally, they scheduled theirs the same day, literally right across the street from us. You understand? They did that deliberately so that they could act like what we had going on was a part of their bullshit, which it wasn't at all. Their side of the street was dry and empty. Y'all remember who all went to the one in DC last time? They had that DNC funded quote unquote rally that was dry as hell. And ours was popping like a mug on the other side of the street. So yeah, they try to blend visuals. And that's a very deceptive tactic that they try to use. You got to be very careful of that. Let me get Miss Melody in the building. Miss Melanie in the building. Hop on in.
Hear me?
Yes, Mel, how are you?
Hey, Tariq, how's it
I
going?
am good, dear. What's going on with you, beloved?
Nothing much. Congrats on your Grok acknowledgement.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Grok
Congrats,
was very
congrats.
reluctant, even Grok, because these things are programmed to think like white supremacists. So
Mm-hmm.
they Grok reluctantly gave it up to me. Yeah, there's some other people who get big numbers, but yeah, Tariq is pretty much the most consistent one. So yeah, that nigga did it. So there's that.
Yeah, shout out to you. No, I will not be attending the Mayo March
Yes.
on April because I remember they was attacking black women with all that 87%, the 98% voted for Democrat.
Yep.
Shame on you, black women. So look at you guys now.
Mhm.
So you want us to double fight for you, and you told us to kiss your ass?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I'll land there.
Thank you, dear. Yeah, yeah. Remember the DNC, it was the Democrats was throwing black women under the bus. They were like, how dare you not recognize Kamala as your fellow sister? Because black women were like, well, not really. Oh no, she ain't really one of us. And remember, they were calling y'all xenophobic too. They were like, how come y'all ain't co-signing Sister Girl? Independent, what's up?
Hello, Tariq. Okay, so 27%, that's what I'm gonna say, or even less. So this is the Democrats thing right now in order to try and gain back some popularity because they're sitting at 27%.
Wow.
I think it's actually less than that, right?
Yeah.
So they need to basically do some marketing.
Yes.
So the marketing is the Mayo March. And so they're gonna make it seem like bunches of people out there. Actually, they're paying those people to be out there for the most part.
Yes.
But you're right. We don't need to be out there.
Yep.
Their lack of popularity is not our issue
Mm-hmm.
and our problem. We need to stay wherever we're gonna be at on April 5th. Okay.
Yep.
And I agree. And furthermore, before I land my plane, they need to suffer greatly for decades about how they played Black Americans.
Yep.
Let them rot. And with that, I'll give up the mic.
Yes, ma'am. Brother Sonny, hop on in, Sonny.
What's good? What's good? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. How you doing, brother?
What's good? Peace to everybody in the room. Wipe my feet when I walk in. I go. So I saw the name of the title and I've been seeing it on social media. I'm gonna be quick too. Like everybody is like, black people, we really relaxing. Like black people, we staying out of this. We shutting the door on them. My thing is, what is the point of this particular quote unquote Million Man March? What is their direct motive? And why are they trying to rally us specifically back for this particular march? Like, what's the point of their march, and why do they want us involved in it when we probably don't more than likely have nothing to do with what their motive is? And I land on down.
There you go. Yeah, that's the point. See, their thing is Trump and Elon, they have exposed all of that frivolous spending, all of this money that's going to all of these different fringe groups. Our tax dollars are just used as ATMs for all this Democrat bullshit. While they tell us that ain't no money for reparations, boy, they got millions and millions and billions of dollars going all outside of the country, all of these fringe groups, LGBT stuff, immigration stuff. It's just frivolous spending left and right. You dig? So now that money supply is getting dried up. So now these corporate agendas, that's being thwarted because the corporate structure, they help orchestrate some of these political entities to give money to this thing and that thing, to push certain things that's going to serve the corporate structure and the medical industry, things like that. When you have all of these, for example, when you do all of this gender reassignment stuff, that's a big win for the medical industry. You understand? And the pharmaceutical companies, because they make money off of hormone drugs and estrogen drugs and gender reassignment. That's a whole new money making industry that they're trying to tap into. They're trying to create a whole new industry where they can generate more income and then get more federal dollars. So they make LGBT and all that stuff a civil rights movement. They can say, okay, well, if this person wants some civil rights bussy, we need to get some money from the government to help us achieve that, and let the government pay off some of the pharmaceutical drugs and get, it's a big financial finesse, man. That's just an example. So this is like a corporate finesse. It ain't got nothing to do with us, but they need us in it. And the reason why they need black people is because white people can't really sell the fact that, or sell the illusion that they've been aggrieved. Like what are white people marching for? Who's going to believe that you've been harmed systematically? What have you been denied? You understand what I'm saying? Ain't nobody going to believe or have sympathy with you as a white person out here marching. You get every damn thing. You know what I'm saying? There is nothing that you don't get. You get everything. What the hell are you marching for? So they got to have us out there because people know we've been aggrieved. People know very well what has happened to us. So it's imperative that they have us out there. And a lot of us are saying, hell no. That's why it's going to be Tether Fest. They're going to have bought and paid for tethers out there. You dig? That don't nobody know that they're going to try to elevate. You see? So we got to watch what's going on out here. It's going to be very interesting.
You wait,